Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum and the fact that we have blasted back up to $1,300. And if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 100,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go and jump in. So, Ethereum has made a fairly powerful move back up to the $1,300 range. And we can see that back on January 10th, we also came up to this basically the same price point. Okay, so a peak here, a short-term top, a short-term top. Now, of course, we can show the general uptrend that we're in over over the last week and a half or so, and potentially see that okay, we are converging. Maybe it will take a few tries to break past 1350. Maybe we'll break it in an hour. I don't really know, but it does seem very bullish for Ethereum. Now, again, none of this is financial advice, and of course, we could get rejected back down because, as we know, ultimately, at the end of the day, everything will depend on the health of Bitcoin and whether or not it can hold these levels for a sustained period of time. And if it can, then there's a decent chance that Ethereum makes a run at the title, its prior all-time high, which is just over $1,400 Ethereum. Now, depending on what exchange you use, it could be like 1430, 1420, somewhere in that ballpark, but that's essentially the prior all-time high for Ethereum. So one of the things that we've discussed before is that Bitcoin moves, and when Bitcoin moves, the rest of the market, including Ethereum, sits still and watches. And then when we get to these phases where Bitcoin is more or less calming down for a while and the volatility in the short term on Bitcoin is reducing, then there's a lot of room for altcoins to move. However, I don't really consider Ethereum an altcoin, of course, by the strictest definition it is. I like to consider it my index. That altcoin, the altcoins that I hold, the ROI that they need to achieve to justify holding them. Again, if they can't beat Ethereum ever, then what's the point of holding a lot of different altcoins? So with Bitcoin volatility reducing, there's a lot of periods in here on these little mini pumps by Bitcoin that a lot of altcoins are able to rally not only against USD, but also against Bitcoin. However, when Ethereum starts moving, for the most part, we see the rest of the market sit completely still. And when the market sits still, it leaves us just watching, the one major coin that's moving. And today, that was Ethereum. Now, one of the things we've discussed before in terms of these major moves is that historically speaking, Ethereum, the final Ethereum push before a cool-off phase, which we can see in bull markets. Remember, we can see that type of stuff in bull markets. You guys know I'm very bullish on Ethereum, but we also need to discuss the fact that even in bull markets, we can have cool-off phases where we come back down and consolidate for a while before continuing higher. Now, it's this consolidation here that tends to not be good for the altcoin market. So a lot of times Ethereum will have that final push, and then when it corrects, then a lot of other altcoins will correct as well. So if you find yourself holding a lot of different altcoins, I feel like there's more or less two phases that we're in right now. There's the before Ethereum is at its prior all-time high and before it's in price discovery, and then there's also after Ethereum is at its prior all-time high and it's in price discovery. And once Ethereum gets into price discovery mode, assuming that Bitcoin volatility is fairly low and Ethereum does go haywire, then that could indicate that the major moves for a lot of altcoins will be coming to an end in the short term. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily done for the market cycle. It just means that once Ethereum goes into this price discovery phase, it typically leads, it can last for several weeks, of course, but it typically ultimately leads to a cool down period a few weeks after it's over for some sustained period of time. So again, the major coins that I hold, of course, the main coins that I hold are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, ADA, and DOT. And so as long as Ethereum is not in price discovery mode, then I feel like a lot of the coins can still, rally on their own. And they don't necessarily need Ethereum to get to the prior all-time high. If Ethereum were to get to the prior all-time high and start going crazy itself, and that could mean maybe going up 2x potentially if the market as a whole stays healthy. If we're lucky, even more than that. Obviously, these are bold wishes, but we also want to we need to always remember that Ethereum can perform significantly well, and a lot of times more than we could ever imagine. We've discussed these prior moves in the past. This move here, which was 3,000% over 154 days. We'll look back at this cycle, and so far we're up 1,300% over 324 days. So, it's hard to see it when you're actually in all this. But then looking back, you can see that, well, this was the path all along. So now, ultimately, we just want to know, how high is it going to go before it comes into a cool down phase? And again, this is something we simply do not know. We have discussed its movements compared to Bitcoin, and we've been able to come to some conclusions that way. We've looked at overvaluations compared to various different, various metrics. But at this point, we're still at the phase of the cycle where the altcoin index, for me, Ethereum, is still below its prior all-time high. And once it gets above its prior all-time high, well, then again, as we said, it could go into price discovery mode, assuming we maintain a healthy Bitcoin. And from that point, it could lead to, a sheer mania phase, as if we're not already in one. So just keep an eye on that level if you're new to the space. Around 1420, 1430 or so is the prior all-time high, and I do think that is a significant milestone. Once Bitcoin got to its prior all-time high at around 20K or just shy of it, but we ultimately know that 20K was the mental barrier. Once it broke 20K, it went into price discovery and went to 42K fairly quickly. So with Ethereum, we're still sitting at $1,300, still below the prior all-time high. Still not really in price discovery mode yet because we've reached these levels 3 years ago. Okay, so we're still not in price discovery mode for Ethereum yet. Until we break the prior all-time high, and we still have a little ways to go. Now, if you look at the Ethereum chart as we were discussing, it looks to be more or less trending up here. This was our prior local top, and we have another one. These lines, as we've said before, they tend to work out a decent amount of time in bull markets when things are just constantly trending up, and then in bear markets, everyone gets disillusioned by them because they tend to just not play out like anyone ever imagines. But looking at this chart, we are moving up. We have been moving up over the last week and a half or so, and this around the 1350 mark is where we have put in local tops. So ideally speaking, we can break through this level at some point over the next few days, maybe by January 23rd at the latest, if we're able to maintain ourselves in this general trend up here. So January 23rd would be another 4 days from now or so. So we also want to take a look at the Ethereum dominance. The Ethereum dominance has not reached this level at around 14.77% since August of 2018. So it's been a long time, and finally, despite the fact that Ethereum has a lot more competition now than it did back then, the dominance for Ethereum is still rising, showing that, it rules the roost in terms of the non-Bitcoin market. Obviously, Bitcoin is king, and we respect that, of course, but in terms of other coins, the altcoin market, Ethereum rules the roost. If you guys like the content, remember we have the premium list into thecryptoverse.com. You can sign up for a lifetime subscription in the description below. The lifetime deal will be ending on February 1st, so if you want to sign up at the lower prices for the lifetime deal, make sure you sign up in the next week and a half. Otherwise, you can check out the monthly subscription. You get access to weekly reports, weekly videos, a Telegram alerts channel, a Telegram chat room, a risk dashboard, the trading view indicators that we discuss, and a whole lot more. So make sure you guys check it out into thecryptoverse.com. With that said, at the very least, subscribe to the channel, turn on alerts, give the video a thumbs up. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.